Hi, I'm just Marena and welcome to my video. This is my very first tutorial ever, so it's gonna be awkward, it's gonna be confusing, and I don't know if everything will work out how I planned it, so bear with me, let's go. Christmas is coming up, and since I'm a little geek when it comes to series, especially Netflix, hashtag not sponsored, and films and movies, and I also like to call myself a cineast or cinephile. I had some awesome ideas for Christmas presents for your beloved ones who are either into Stranger Things, Riverdale, or Harry Potter. And don't worry, you don't have to sit through this whole entire awkward video to, for example, just see the Harry Potter DIY. I'm just gonna leave a time timestamp in the description below, so you can just, you know, click on the timestamp and then you're gonna roll to the Harry Potter DIY. So the first DIY I'm gonna show you is gonna be Stranger Things related. This was my imaginary waffle that I actually wanted to throw, but I forgot about the waffle. So what you're gonna need is a plain t-shirt, a piece of floral fabric, needle and thread, a paintbrush, multicolored fairy lights, and snap fasteners. I guess you already know what this is going to look like in the end. It's supposed to look like the wall that Will's mom sets up in her house to communicate with. Spoiler alert! For those who haven't watched the series yet, spoiler alert. One more time. You've been warned. So the first thing you want to do is just lay down the t-shirt, and then you take the floral printed fabric and place it on the t-shirt. Just play a little bit with it and try some positions and how big you want to have it. And when you found a size you're happy with, then you cut the piece of fabric to the size you want it to have. And now we're gonna paint the alphabet onto the floral piece of fabric. Now, you could have also just gotten a t-shirt with a floral print on it, or just paint the alphabet onto the plain shirt, but I'm always concerned whether the acrylic paint will stay on the shirt when you put it into the washing machine. And also we're going to use the fairy lights. When the fairy lights are attached to the shirt itself, you could only wash it by hand, and you know, it gets annoying after a while, because that's what I always think about when I see those cozy Christmas pullovers with those little LED lights. It's really difficult to wash them. So that's why we're going to use these snap fasteners, because then you can just detach the piece of fabric from the shirt itself and put it into the washing machine. And you can always use a picture as a reference if you're not entirely sure how the alphabet goes. I mean, not funny, Jess, not funny. Fuck. And you should always use something where you can work on, where your mother won't. And when you're done painting the alphabet, you're just gonna set it aside for a while and let it dry completely. The fairy lights are from Amazon. They were like €2, I guess. Link in the description. and I tried to fold it in half, but then I'm just gonna readjust the lights so that, you know, when there's a gap on the one side, there's a light on the other, and so on. And then I'm just gonna try to place it on the alphabet fabric. Of course, there are more letters in the alphabet than there are LEDs, but you just have to play around with it. And then we will take the needle and the thread and stitch the fairy lights to the fabric. And when you're done with stitching the fairy lights onto the fabric, you take a little bit of the leftovers you had from that fabric and try to make a little bag out of it so that the battery can fit into that bag. And of course it doesn't have to be perfect because nobody will see it anyway. And we will attach this little bag to the t-shirt later, not now. But what we are going to do now is spread out the t-shirt again, and then you lay the wall from Will's mom onto the shirt like this. And when you're happy with the way it looks and the place it has on the t-shirt, you take the snap fasteners. I think it's best if they are in the corners. So the one with the nipple will be attached to the floral piece of fabric with the alphabet, and the other piece will be here on the t-shirt. And then later you can just click it together.
Darling, you got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go? If you say that you are mine, I'll be here till the end of time.
When you stitch those buttons onto the shirt, you take this little bag that you made and place it underneath the fabric and sew this on. And as I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because nobody will see it anyway. Maybe you can attach that little bag also with snap fasteners, but I don't know. I figured it's just easier to stitch it on and then you can't lose it, and since it's just the fabric, it can just go into the washing machine. And now you can just turn the fairy lights on, stick the batteries into the tiny bag, flip this over and click it into the snap fasteners, and ta-da! You're done! So this is how it turned out. I think it's really nice.
Ooh. Nice. Sieht richtig cool aus. Auch an der Kamera da drüben.
Ja, ne? Run! So this is it. I really liked how this turned out. And if you want to wash the shirt, you can just take off these button things. Like this. It's really easy. Like this. And then you take out the batteries, turn it off, and then you just have the shirt with the little bag and those little buttons. They look like far apart nipples. And then you can just wash it without destroying the alphabet, the paint, and of course the fairy lights with the electronics that can go into the washing machine. Yeah. And for a little special surprising effect for the wrapping of the present, I got something for you. For all of you who don't live in the United States and everywhere else where they sell Eggo waffles, for example here in Germany, they don't sell them, I printed out the packaging of Eggo waffles. I printed it on a bit thicker paper. I wish they had even thicker, almost like cardboard kind of, but they didn't have that in the store, so I just got this, but I think it will work too. I'm just gonna cut this out real quick, fold it and glue it together, and then I will show you what it looks like. And of course, again, I will leave a link in the description for those of you who want to print that out as well. I'm really so happy that somebody scanned the packaging of these Eggo waffles, and I just hope that the person did this for Stranger Things lovers, because otherwise, what was going through that person's mind? Like,
yeah, today I'm gonna scan the Eggo waffles packaging. It's gonna be a hit on the internet.
it's so funny that this packaging is so iconic for the series, because when I try to imagine that other people would print out packaging from food that you can just get in the store here in Germany, I would be like, alright. Yeah, but I think this looks pretty cool. And yeah, you can just fold the t-shirt and put it inside this packaging, and yeah, if your friend is a true Stranger Things fan, and only if you give them this, they will already know what this is all about. Lego on my Eggo! So the next DIY is Riverdale related. So I bought these patches on Etsy. I'm just gonna leave the link in the description down below. And when I sewed the patches onto my jacket, the camera stopped recording, but I totally did it myself because this is a DIY, right? This wouldn't make any sense if I didn't do it myself and brought it to somebody else who did it for me, because I totally can't handle a sewing machine. But you get the idea. And if you have skills in sewing, then you can still do this for a friend. You can also just super glue it. I don't know if you actually can. And the thing is, this is a leather jacket, and these are ironing patches. You can't iron stuff onto leather, especially not faux leather. Yeah, but if you want to give this to somebody on another kind of jacket, on a fabric kind of jacket, yeah, you can totally do it yourself. But I wanted to have it on my leather jacket and I couldn't wait for it, and yep, sorry. So what you're gonna need is a grayish beanie, needle and thread again, a red button, a little white piece of fabric that I actually cut out of the floral piece of fabric. And here we have some paper wrapped wire. I only found this beige kind of wire. It would be better if you found a gray one. So what I'm just gonna do is paint the paper of this wire. And you're asking yourself, why the heck do we need wire for a beanie? Well, you just do. Because when I watched Riverdale, I was looking at Jughead's beanie and I thought, this can't just be fabric. These pointy ends of the beanie, they're standing like there's something inside. So I didn't believe that it was just the fabric that was so pointy, you know? And then in this scene, I saw something that to me looked like this paper wrapped wire, and so I decided just to include it. And if it's not the case with the real beanie, I don't care. But I know that my pointy ends for sure will stick up, just like Jughead's beanies. Points does. What? You know what I mean. So the first thing I'm gonna do is paint this, and then I'm gonna set it aside and let it dry. And while it's drying, we are going to cut the beanie.
The thing that makes me, oh, what the guys go crazy for. They lose their minds the way I whine. I think it's time. Warm it up. The boys are waiting. Warm it up. The boys are waiting. Milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to charge. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to charge.
So when the wire is completely dry, you take it and try to shape the spikes of the beanie and place it inside of the spikes, and then you take needle and thread and sew around it. You sew through the fabric of the beanie, and also you kind of wrap around the wire inside the beanie.
The boys are waiting. Milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to charge. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to charge. I want it, the thing that makes me, oh, what the guys go crazy for. They lose their minds the way I whine. I think it's time.
When you did this whole process all around the head, you will end up with the beginning and with the end of the wire, and then I just put double-sided tape around one end, and then you just entwine the two ends together, and then you just continue sewing around the wire, closing the fabric of the beanie.
Warm it up. The boys are waiting. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to charge. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to charge.
Of course, I have to add the little piece of fabric and the red something. I suppose it's a red button, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm just gonna go with the red button. And I still haven't figured out what is written on this little piece of fabric on Jughead's beanie. I googled it and I looked very closely when I watched the episodes, but I still couldn't figure out what is written on that white piece of fabric. So I decided to just write a J on it. So I stitched it. I stitched a J on it. A J for Jughead and a J for Jazz. have it.
And there you had it.
And there you jughead it. Just make your spikes a little bit more pointy.
Good job.
And the last DIY is going to be Harry Potter related. This is a very easy and simple one, but I think it's one of the cutest presents from all the things that I presented to you. And real Potterheads, or even just moderate Potter fans, will really appreciate this gift and they will be very happy about it. I'm talking about Bertie Bott's Every Flavor Beans. All you have to do is print out the template of the Bertie Bott's Beans packaging. I'm gonna leave the link of the template down below. I found it on DeviantArt. It's from the artist Little Falling Star. What you also need is double-sided tape, small see-through plastic bags, and of course beans. You can use the classic jelly beans from Jelly Belly, the original, but I also have some alternatives for you. For example, Haribo's jelly beans or jelly beans from CCI. They come in a 1 kilogram package for €6, so it's really affordable. And ta-da! You made your own Bertie Bott's beans package with beans. Sorry guys, I can't speak English. I just think this looks so adorable. Every Harry Potter fan will be so excited about this, and it's really easy to make. It's perfect for a last minute Harry Potter gift. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe you will do some of these tutorials yourself. Thanks for hanging out with me, and if you made it this far till the end of the video, you are really a strong person. Leave a comment with strong person and then I know that you watched it until the end. Oh yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, make some good New Year's resolutions, and yeah, see you next time.
7, 6, 5, 4,
Bye.
2, 1.
Was that awkward?
Otis, you crazy mother.
I don't know if it will last when it rains on the beanie, so I just decided to stitch it on. You can never go wrong with stitching on. This is my new jingle. You can never go wrong with stitching on. What the fuck did I do? I just tried it.